My name is Fairy Thug Mother, but technically I am Diandra Janelle Rose. I am born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I like to call myself an entity because I have entirely too much going on to literally just be defined by one particular thing. I started off as a visual artist. I've modeled pretty much since I was about 14 years old. Then after that, it pretty much has always been my artistic nature. I've always been a writer. I've always been able to act. I've always been able to do music. I've always been able to sing, as well as the spiritual side of me, which more people are now getting used to because I think now is the time for that. But I like to call myself an entity because there's just literally entirely too much. Triple threat is not even an accurate word for that. I've always known that I was a lot different. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been able to talk to spirits, see spirits. I was always different. I always felt alienated. I was actually teased from like 3rd grade all the way up until like 11th grade. So like I've always been kind of ostracized. So childhood for me was like a learning experience of being comfortable with myself and completely being comfortable with myself no matter what the crowd felt about me, because the crowd never particularly embraced me. So it's interesting, now being completely and totally embraced for being who you are and being this wonderful, different person. But as a child, being different wasn't exactly the thing to be, because children and people are literally, for the most part, afraid of things that they don't understand. And I was never somebody that was really understood. When I first started, I was just doing art alone, and I had a really hard time pricing my artwork. Like in my heart, I felt like there were $1,000 pieces, but my price tag might have said like 100. And that energy conveys, because when I would do shows, people would look at the price tag and they'd be like, they felt like the $100 was too high, actually, because my confidence level was not there. And it was clear in the pricing that it wasn't there. How I really got my start, because the talent's always been there. I used to dance for 3 years. I was an exotic dancer for 3 years. And that's where the business side came in, because it's all about your hustle. It's all about dealing with people. It's all about talking to different people. It's about literally like promoting and selling yourself. It's an entirely different way at that point. But after that experience, it was easily to translate onto actually running my art. Because of that, I actually got one of my major jobs being the executive manager / assistant for the owner of a really large agricultural company. So I actually worked that job, which was a multi-million-dollar gross a month company, and ran that company for about 6 months before I really figured out that I didn't want to exist in the corporate world. But knowing that I could run a $1 million company gave me a lot of the courage and the strength that I can do this for myself. If I can do this for peanut equipment, then I can do this for art. I can do this with my music. I can do this with crystals. Why can't I? But other people should really take that into consideration, because you think about the amount of people that work these 9-to-5 jobs or 16-hour days, and you're literally working for somebody else to achieve that person's dream, that person's company, that person's whatever that you're doing for somebody else. So most people have the skill set to run something. Most people have the skill set to participate in like a work environment that's completely dedicated to them. But it's hard to believe in yourself enough to know that you can do the same thing you're doing for somebody else for you. And it just literally comes down to just having the confidence and believing in yourself that you can actually make it happen. First, I'm a spiritual healer, and that goes hand in hand with my crystal business. So my crystal business is amazing. I love it. And when I first started, I was really unsure about how people would receive the information, because I get a lot of religious backlash from people that have been really ill-informed about crystals, their healing power. I get a lot of people that send me emails like, this is demonic, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nobody apparently even reads their Bible, because crystals are mentioned in Revelations, but whatever. So I'm constantly fighting stigmas with that, but it's been really successful, and getting hundreds and hundreds of email responses response is that my crystals are literally changing people's lives, helping them feel better about themselves, bringing wealth into their situations, healing them of their own physical ailments. It's been really overwhelming, and it's caused me to continue to expand. On the other hand, I also have a candle company that I'm developing called the Glow Up Candle Company, gloriously lighting our way up. It's an apothecary candle company, pretty much designed to uplift your spirits, get rid of your sadness, helping you aid in any situations that you might feel like you don't really have it, and trying to introduce people to a more homeopathic way of dealing with situations and things and stressors, because in the society that we live in, everything is like prescription this, okay? Like you need a therapist, you need a psychiatrist, and then they're gonna put you on any sort of random assortment of drugs that really don't actually help you at all. They don't make you feel better. You're walking around, most people feel like a zombie on medication, having to worry about the side effects. So getting people into the idea that you can heal yourself and giving people the tools to know that they can heal themselves. And that's really what both of my businesses for the most part revolve around, is giving people the tools so that they know that they have other options out here.